Good afternoon and welcome back to the 120th. Today we are getting out and taking some photographs. Woohoo! This is the latest in my series about local businesses where I get in touch with local businesses, go and visit them, do a video with them and take lots of hopefully nice photos. I've been chatting to a florist in my hometown here in Thornbury, a lovely place called Jolie Fleurs, pretty flowers, and it's owned by a lady called Jo. And she has agreed to let me pop down and spend some time with them and take some photographs of them. So I want to do two things. I want to get some kind of candid in the moment photographs of the ladies that work with Jo doing their thing, arranging flowers. And I also want to do some more setup shots where I slow things down a bit and ask them to pose for me so that I can take some hopefully nice photos of them. I'm going to take two cameras with me. First one is the Mamiya Super 23. I'm going to use this one for the kind of in the moment candid shots of the ladies that work there arranging flowers. The Mamiya Super 23 was obviously designed as a press camera, and therefore this kind of fast moving, fast paced, grabbing action as it happens, in theory should be right up its street. So that's one. The other one I'm going to take with me is the Speed Graphic 4x5, and I'm going to use this one for the slower kind of portrait, more posed shots at the end, along with hopefully a combination of some very interesting lenses. The Speed Graphic, of course, has the focal plane shutter in the back, which is relatively uncommon. And it does allow you to use barrel lenses or old brass lenses, or lenses that don't have shutters already attached to them. Now the Super 23, part of the reason I'm going with the Super 23 is that I've got this 6x9 film back for it. I just don't fancy another 6x6 shoot. I want to shoot some big 6x9 negatives. I took this out in the last few weeks and I put a roll of film through it. Really happy with the results. I'll show you one here. This is obviously Gertie, my mannequin, posing so that I can test the camera. And as you can see, razor sharp, looks great. Now, I focused that using the distance scale on the lens because the rangefinder and the distance scale did not agree. Distance scale on the lens is right, rangefinder is out. So earlier today, I took the top off and took it apart and recalibrated the rangefinder. And as far as I'm aware, that is now working correctly. I'm going to take a variety of lenses for the Speed Graphic. One of them is this rather lovely Carl Zeiss Tessar lens that was removed from an Ica Ideal way back when, a long time ago in one of my earlier videos. I've remounted that onto a board for the Speed Graphic. And we'll give that one another go again. That's an f4.5, 13.5 centimeters, so 135 millimeter. We'll also be taking this one with me. This is the Dallmeyer 8.5 inch f4.5, another beautiful lens. So hopefully I'll get some nice shots on that one. And I also want to take with me this one. This is a new one. To me, that I've just mounted onto a lens board for the Speed Graphic, and this is a Ross Teleross 9-inch f5.5, introduced in 1922. Interestingly, it was originally advertised for 3.25 by 2.25 glass plate cameras, but I've tested it on the 4x5, and I seem to be getting pretty much edge-to-edge sharpness on there. Without any movements, of course. So, fingers crossed. Looks pretty good, huh? So there we go. Those are the two cameras I'm going to be taking with me. Film-wise, what I'm going for is, so this florist that I'm going to shoot at, I've got a wonderful style about them. It's not all overwhelming bright colours. They use a lot of greens, and obviously at the moment it's autumn, so a lot of autumn tones. So I really want a film stock that is going to give me faithful colour rendition, nothing too crazy, nothing too wild, certainly not a kind of a skewing in any one direction. So I've got a couple of rolls of Fuji Pro 400H, which I'm going to use in the Mamiya Super 23. And then in the Speed Graphic, I'm going to use some Portra 160, 4x5 sheets of Portra 160. that's the plan. Let's see how it goes. Right then, I'm down here at Jolie Fleurs with the wonderful Jo. Hello, Jo.
Hi.
These are the lovely ladies who'll be filming today.
Flower elves.
Flower elves. So you've got Jo here, who owns the place.
Hi.
Mandy.
Hello there.
And Jill, who doesn't want to talk.
So what we've got in at the moment, as I said, we're prepping for Christmas, but we've got lots of colour. We don't tend to do the run-of-the-mill flowers, so you won't see many chrysanthemums and many carnations in here. We like slightly unusual designs, and more of a free flow design than what we call a cauliflower bouquet, shall we say, with like all tight and what have you. We like air between designs is the best thing. Let the flowers do what the flowers need to do. These are one of my favourites, Celosias. These are a firm favourite with everybody. Good old gerberas.
Gerberas are my wife's favourite.
They are lovely. They're like a daisy, and they bring a lot of happiness, I think, because you can get them in different colours. And another firm favourite, and we use these a lot, delphiniums.
Oh yeah.
Got to have a delph in your life.
What I would like to do, Jo, as I explained to you already, is I wanted to take some photos on the press camera.
Yep.
Just you guys doing what you're doing.
Yep.
And then I wanted to use the large format and the to do some more setup stuff, because it's going to be a little bit slower. So then we'll sort of pull some flowers together.
Yeah, lovely. No, we've got enough to do to
stand and pose.
Yeah,
if that's all right.
Stand and pose. Okay. Yeah, that's
all
fine.
right.
That's no problem at all.
I will get set up.
Okay.
And underway.
Super. And I'll get work done.
I was about to say, I believe we just scared somebody off. I'm sorry
fine,
about that.
Don't worry about it. She'll come back in if she wants us.
I've immediately hit problems, unfortunately. I was setting up the Super 23, and this little catch on the back is not springing back across, and so the frame counter isn't going to work. It's not going to stop at the stops for each frame, so I'm just going to have to guess. No, this shoot has disaster written all over it already. I've got a film back malfunctioning on the Super 23. I've got a rangefinder on the Super 23 that I calibrated the day before and I haven't tested. It's the light in there, the light in the florist is really low. It's actually, it's pretty dark, which means that I'm going to have to shoot on a slow shutter speed on both the Super 23 and the speed graphic. And on both cameras, I'm going to have to shoot wide open or pretty close to wide open. And then wide open plus the untested rangefinder, I'll be hard pushed to hit focus on anything. So yeah, all in all, not going very well. Here's hoping I do not waste the time of these lovely ladies. Let's see how it goes. I did bring with me the last of my rolls of Fuji Pro 400H, which of course you can't get anymore. But now I'm slightly resistant to using that. I don't want to waste it, or I don't really know where these frame edges are going to come out. So there's a Lomo 400 in there at the moment. I'm just going to start snapping away, just get this done. Lovely.
Okay.
Hold in there 1 second, here we go. Wonderful, thank you very much. So I might need to ask you to hold in a second when you're in the middle of something.
Okay.
Find a nice convenient. I can't follow you. You're moving too fast.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Sorry.
Here we go. Here it comes.
Okay.
And hold. Thank you. How many have I done? I reckon I've done about 6.
Cool.
I'm hoping that I'm going to run out of film soon, because that will mean that I've got my spacing just about right.
Oh.
Well, I'm guessing. This is what's broken, what's not working today.
Estimating. It's the spacing.
Is the spacing between the frames on the film. This is a little bit more complicated than expected. Everything just moves so fast in here, and the rangefinder spot on this Mamiya Super 23 is not that visible. So it just makes it a little bit more difficult, because I can't just focus and fire. I've got to be focusing on something where there's a bit of contrast and where there's a bit of vertical for me to line up, and then hope that by the time I've done that and then reframed, that Jo hasn't moved. It's a little bit complicated. Probably not the right camera, really. I don't know how they did press shots of these. I don't know how they moved fast enough. There we go. Maybe they're better than me. Probably better than me. Focus right, there we go, got it. Hold there, hold there. Lovely, thank you. You always done this? Was this a...
No, I was a primary school teacher for 20 odd years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, deputy the lot. Yeah, and I retrained while I was still teaching for years and years, and then thought 5-6 years ago that I had another adventure left in me.
Ah,
So I did.
amazing.
These are red Naomi roses.
Yep.
These are the alliums I was talking about earlier. This is sanguisorba, which makes the bouquet dance. We like a dancing bouquet. We've got the blue sea holly, eryngium. We've got the green hypericum berries. And we have got, this is lovely for Christmas, this is skimmia. This is purple. This purple one is limonium.
Yep.
Really pretty pop of purple. And I think that's all of them, isn't it?
Oh,
Oh no, these ones as well. So these ones, yeah, the stars of the show as well with the roses.
Yeah.
These are anthuriums.
Anthurium.
Yes, yeah, all sorts of colours. A little bit phallic, but they're quite a wonderful flower.
Right, then I've finished with the Mamiya Super 23. Moving on now to the speed graphic. I'm asking Joe and that to humour me whilst I, it's essentially, yeah, and I make you pose, you know.
Stick on the box.
Alright, you're good. 28, 400, not out 400 at 160. 160, 18. So I'm good. This is going to be, I'm going to have to ask you to hold really quite still for this, I'm afraid. Right, you ready? 3, 2, 1. Managed to get the light standing shot there, but with a bit of cropping, not a bad start. Sadly, things don't get better from here. Right, Mandy, you're getting a different lens. Because of, do you know what? Can I have you in the background? I'm not kidding. Yeah, with your bucket. Hold the bucket. Yeah, exactly. Joe and Mandy really starting to get into the shoot, which is great. This lens might be a bit long actually for both of you. But poor old Mandy didn't realise I was recording. What are you thinking about? Come on. So I've cut most of what was going on, but Mandy's face when she realised I was recording. This is both. I'm recording every word. Well worth a sheet of portrait. I'm just going to get a lovely kind of narrow angle down through these dried flowers and into the corner there. I might turn this light a little bit back towards me anyway. That's what we're doing now. So start side out. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Pretty disappointed with this setup. It could have been really nice, but I just didn't give it enough light. Okay, so this on this one, Joe, I wonder if I can get your head up a bit. Maybe holding up what you're doing and turn yourself to the side, please. A bit further, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. There, that's the one. Can you do that? Yeah. Great. This is beautiful. Dark side out. 3, 2, 1. Shall I do one with Mandy somewhere? And then I will get out of your hair. That's it, closer, closer. And then tuck in a little bit in closer to the flowers if you could. There, that's the one. Out comes that one. And looking at your flowers, please. Lovely, thank you. Right then, I'm going to stop taking photos now. I've taken up enough of these lovely ladies' time. So I'm going to take those home and develop those this evening probably. And we'll see how they came out. In the meantime, a huge thank you to Joe. Thank you so much for having me.
Very welcome.
I really appreciate
it's been a pleasure. We've had an absolute laugh. It's been brilliant.
I love it, and thank you, Mandy, as well.
It's my pleasure. Really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Jill's run away, sadly. Jill has run away. Yeah, but it's such a lovely shop. I could spend all day in here just taking photos, but I won't. It's all right. It's okay. I am leaving. Right then, we're back. So that was a testing shoot, and mostly of my own making. So I didn't make it easy for myself in any way, did I? Why? Do you know what? I have ultimate respect for these press photographers from back in the day. These things are difficult to use, very difficult to use quickly, very difficult to use in difficult lighting situations. I mean, I guess, you know, if it was your bread and butter and it was your everyday tool that you were using, then you'd you know, get pretty close to it and you'd have a lot of faith in it. And that would definitely help. But wow, I find that was challenging, that was difficult. What was going wrong with the film back was this is something to do with this notch here. It's this switch to stop the advance of the film and to space the frames out, and that's just, it's stuck in the release position, which means that the film doesn't wind on in the counter, and it doesn't stop at the frames. So I took a punt that we were, you know, it was roughly 2 full strokes, because I recall that from when I was outside testing this, it being about that. And do you know what? You can see what we got. Look at that. Not too bad. Some big gaps between images, but you know what, it worked. And I got, what did I get, probably about 5 or 6 frames to a roll instead of 8 that I should be getting. The other thing was that despite, I mean, that rangefinder was really hard to see, the rangefinder spot, really hard to see in those difficult lighting conditions, but the calibration was good. And when I managed to get that rangefinder spot and I lined up the focus, they came out sharp. You know, the photos coming out of this, I couldn't have asked too much more from it. So that's very happy with that. And, you know, despite it being a big, unyieldy lump, this is a nice camera and a nice lens as well. Now, my wonderful speed graphic with fancy lenses. That didn't really pan out, did it? I was trying to do something different. I was trying to use a single light to kind of thin out the kind of busyness of the shop, to isolate Joe and just one bunch of flowers. But I just didn't have the kit with me to do it. I mean, I had no faith in the slow shutter speeds of the speed graphic. Maybe I should. Maybe, in fact, what I probably should have done and didn't really think about at the time at all, I was looking for the slowest possible shutter speeds on the speed graphic to see what I could do. What I really should have done was go back to the old method of you know, using a lens cap and just take it on and taking it off. You can easily do a half second like that. And it turned out that I just didn't expose those sheets for long enough. With hindsight, it was a bit ambitious perhaps. That's not to say I won't do it again. I will. I'm going to be just as ambitious next time out. But you know, we're learning every time we go out and cock something up. Then you learn a bit more, and you know what to expect the next time. So I'm disappointed in those shots, but there were a couple of others that came out all right. That shot of Mandy picking the flowers was quite nice, and that was taken on this one. That's the Dalmire 8.5 inch f4.5. All in all though, I mean, in case you couldn't tell, I had a great time down at Jolie Fleurs. The ladies that work down there are an absolute hoot, an absolute riot, and they made me feel really welcome and were just really easy with me going around doing my thing. So thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. If you live in the Thornbury area or anywhere in South Gloucestershire and you're looking for flowers, then that is a great place to go. They've got a wonderful sense of style, and I hope that came across in this video. So that's that one done and dusted. Next up on the channel, I've definitely got coming up a bit of a showcasing of all my medium format cameras under the guise of saying what's the best medium format camera for you. So I'll be doing that sometime soon, just as soon as I find a space in my home big enough for me to spread them all out. Then after that, I've got another local business shoot coming up. And hopefully I'll be able to do a black and white shoot for that local business shoot, and I'll be able to take that out into the darkroom and do some more printing. Looking forward to that. There is actually a ton more stuff coming up, loads of other bits and bobs. So if you're not currently subscribed, make sure you do subscribe. If you're on Instagram, head over and check out the Jolie Fleurs Instagram page and Facebook page. I'll leave links to both down below. Once again, big thank you to Joe and Mandy and Jill at Jolie Fleurs for accommodating me and putting up with my crazy ideas, even if they didn't quite turn out right. And thanks a lot, everybody. I'll see you next time. All right, bye.